Got what?
My juice. All right. So we're doing a little cool Q&A right now. What is it? Is today Wednesday or Thursday? It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
Holy shnikes already.
Already, yeah. Don't go fast, right?
Yes, it did.
Hi,
We got-
guys.
We got the more mature, savvy Mona Mirison with
And I'm here
us.
right after I shaved.
And John's here too when you're ready. If you
Oh,
want
that's great.
Oh, here.
Great.
Let's kill it.
It's a Thursday afternoon, late afternoon. For me, at least, it's late afternoon. I don't know about you guys. I'm an early bed kind of guy.
You are.
I ain't staying up till 10 or 11.
No, you're not.
Not like Mona and Titan. Those two are staying up forever.
We like watching TV. We like watching movies, cartoons.
We do try to catch a little movie action every night.
And we kind of managed to go through almost the movie. And then it shuts off.
That is true.
It's like, shut it off. Stop. Yeah. Yeah. Whew.
I'm wondering if you can see those when they pop up.
I could.
Yeah?
Yeah. You've here, right here?
No.
Oh,
Is-
no.
or did they go there too? Because I'm looking right there.
Oh.
Those are the questions.
It's a little hard.
Right.
What's going on, Mike? Yeah, but I have
What's
to kind of
What's happening? Jeffrey, those are pretty small here, but I bet you.
Yeah, we need the B cam.
Yeah, I think we need that B cam. I think pull in the pad so we can see those two. Do you
On the
mind?
iPad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just keep it here.
All
I think you go with
I
that.
could do that.
What kind of questions do you guys have? And just FYI, Johnny is back to training. I know he had a procedure and he's back to training now, full blown. I got a video of him training like a beast the other day. So for anybody out there dealing with owies or injuries and coming back, this would be a great time for you to ask any kind of those questions to John. And John,
Yeah.
Jeffrey's pulling Johnny in here when he's ready.
Get ready.
I've been ready. It's whenever
This
John's
is
ready.
awesome.
I'm always ready.
Johnny's always there he is.
Oh, hey, John.
There he is.
Love seeing your face today. How are you?
You too. Doing excellent. How about you?
Happy Thursday.
Did you have a good birthday yesterday or what?
It was my birthday. I had an amazing birthday. My sister cooked. You Greek, right? So you know how I'm Romanian. I mean, she had so much food. Mike is on the plan, and Mike is like, no freaking way. And I'm like, honey, it's my birthday. Good for you. Happy birthday. I have a red carpet to go to on Tuesday. His movie's coming out. So we got that red carpet event, which is coming up on Tuesday. So we're going to be back home and get ready for that. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about that event. So,
It's exciting.
you got to stay on point.
Yeah, for
Somebody's going to be responsible when it comes to dieting and training in this house.
Hey Jeffrey, are you getting an echo?
No.
Okay.
No, you sang it.
Perfect.
Yep.
We got questions over here. We got Johnny with us today.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You see comment. There we go.
Oh,
See,
hey.
look at
I
that.
didn't know how to do it.
You're set. Well, they are coming in.
Yeah, they are coming in.
Hey Johnny, so you're back to training, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Full blast the other day. I went and I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. So see how it was going to go. I got to see the surgeon tomorrow. So he'll hopefully give me the official clearance. But, I felt strong enough. Honestly, this hernia surgery compared to the last hernia surgery that I had, I don't know if it's the therapies, but it was a different hernia surgery, the biungual, and this is umbilical. But I really didn't have any pain and, issues, problems. Luckily, like the first one, I remember. And I remember my first training session coming back with the first hernia where I had the biungual. And I definitely felt it, a little bit tighter in those different areas because of the mesh. And this time I don't have mesh. So maybe that was a factor. Or maybe my healing therapies had been a factor too as well. But I felt strong the whole time, and I haven't felt like I've had any issues. So 6 weeks was Tuesday, so I'm like, listen, it's time for me to get it going here.
I know that there was a couple
6 weeks.
6 weeks. I know, right?
Crazy.
It's flying. It's flying. We got another 5 weeks till the Olympia. I mean, if we're here.
And this year's over with pretty much. So 2024 is coming real soon too.
That being said, there was a couple things that I know that you were doing on your therapy that helps your body recover, and besides collagen and better growth hormone release, there was the IGF-1, correct, and the copper, correct?
Yep.
And there was a couple of other ones that I haven't heard of. If you can remember what those were.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously I've been trying some new different therapies. One, for the healing portion of it, I really wanted to do everything I possibly could. So my HRT was my base, IGF-1, BPC 157, TB 500, which were healing peptides. And then I also started taking thymolin, which is it basically stimulates different things in the body to help the immune function. So at that point, I've been taking that with GHK-Cu, which is the copper peptide. And at that point, I've been taking those together, and that's supposed to help with collagen production, skin elasticity, repairing there as well. And then I've been taking C-Max and C-Link. So C-Max is more of, it's a nootropic, so it's supposed to help with mental clarity and stuff like that. And C-Link is supposed to be like a GABA promoter, basically, so it's a sleep enhancer. So I've been taking that at night just to get better sleep. So if I get better sleep, because I'm not getting the 8 hours, so I need to get the quality sleep. So if I'm getting 5 or 6, I need to make sure that every minute counts.
Do you ever check your sleep, your REM sleep, your deep sleep, your light sleep? Do you ever check any of those with any kind of monitors?
So I've done it with the apps, with an iWatch. And it says that I get a good amount of 4 to 5 hours of REM sleep if I'm in an 8-hour sleep pattern. I have never done it on a 5-hour sleep pattern, to be honest with you. I just kind of go by the way I feel in the morning too. So like in the mornings, I'm getting up like 4:45, 5:30, and I get up without an alarm clock. So it's just, I don't know, it's programmed. Once you get in the routine, they just
right.
But I'm up, and some people are going to feel tired when they get up, or they're going to feel like they're ready to go. And I feel like I'm ready to go every morning. So at that point, I think that I'm getting some good sleep there, but I do need to track it, because I like to track things just like you and see what it really is.
Yeah, I noticed, like you said, I noticed that this thing throws me off a bit. I got this Whoop. My buddy Wally talks me back into using it, but it throws me off a bit. I'm pretty strong mentally, but if I wake up and it goes, hey, you've only recovered 30%, that plays with me a little bit mentally.
Yeah.
And I'm going into a squat session. And so I've noticed that I don't check it until after the workouts or anything like that, just to still do that research on what am I feeling. I want to keep this on you, but for me, I noticed that regardless of how it says I recover, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
And unless I look at it and it says 20 or 30% recovered, I was like, come on now. It's so just for anybody out there, I think they're interesting. I still haven't been sold on the idea, but I am taking note of it. And you said that you get 4 hours or so of REM sleep, which I barely get. An hour and a half to 2 hours is good, really good for me.
Yeah. Usually it takes me about probably first hour, I probably get into REM sleep, and then at that point go into it deep. I mean, I used to be to the point where I was going to sleep every day on the exact same time and waking up the exact same time, which is the best you could possibly do. You can do it in that consistent routine, you will feel the best and you'll be consistent across the board. But just things happen. I mean, I can't predict a day and what's going to happen in that day and how long I got to stay up that day. But I mean, I know I'm waking up the next day early. Either way, because I got to wake up my son for baseball and for school. So, I'm doing that every morning. So it doesn't matter what happens the night before. But I gotta monetize in the sleep, the previous night, especially now with the training and coming back with the recovery. I need to get to sleep. So, I'm trying to focus on getting to bed by a certain time, and at least getting 5 to 6 hours, and that would be optimal for me.
I feel like it is really important to have a pattern when it comes to sleeping, to go to sleep every night around the same time. and to build that over, weeks and months. And I think the body really responds really well when it comes to recovery if you have the same amount of sleep and you kind of go to sleep around the same time in the evening. Is that true?
Well, the studies say that is true, but like John is saying, it's like you're running this company, Titan Medical, and then you got you're a father and you're a business owner, so it's like your days are not really totally up to you. Mostly because you're hands-on. I know you're the CEO and you run this place and you can call your shots, but you're so hands-on that it doesn't allow you to just clock out at 9 o'clock, go to bed, wake up at 5 o'clock. So
hopefully soon, maybe one day we'll see how that goes. But yeah, not right now.
Will you ever really settle down like that?
Yeah, I don't think so. Even if I sold Titan tomorrow per se, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm going to stop going. That doesn't kill the drive, I guess.
Right.
And the drive is still there. So I still want to do things. And I think that has a big thing to do with some people too, even if they're not optimal, like we're saying, like maybe we don't get enough sleep, but we're wired. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's going to go on. We've got to drive through and push through. So, I mean, I think that has a little bit to do with it, but I don't think I'll ever quit anything completely. And I'm definitely not going to quit the lifestyle I lived. I had before and after. So I'm not really going to do that, but we'll see. We'll see how things go.
I know you well enough to know that, there's no stopping for you.
No stopping. We got other things to do. Too.
For you and the missus. I know that you guys are savages when it comes to business owners, but also as parents. You guys are full-fledged into driving the little one around everywhere. Well, I can't say little one, but the young one, the young buck.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, because he's definitely taller than me, so I got to,
Now, I know that you've been in meetings today extremely, and you've been having a busy week. How are you doing with your nutrition, and what's your best recommendation for these people out there that are, have these incredible busy jobs like you do? What's your recommendation for them to continue to eat relatively clean and healthy and on time?
Sure. So the biggest thing is that if you haven't done this before and you're new to it, you got to start getting the routine. So that's cooking your meals. I mean, even I posted a video this morning from last night. When I got home last night, it was like 10:30 at night. I still had to cook my steaks to get them ready for the next day because I didn't have steaks the next day. For me, I'm consistent when I eat. So some people can be consistent like that, like eating the exact same thing every single day, the exact same way. I'm one of those people. Some people out there, they've never done this before. They're like, this is too bland. I can't do this. So you got to find what works for you too as well. But if you're busy and on the go, that's not an excuse to eat garbage. Yes, you might be in some situations, but when you look around outside in the public eye, whether it's a gas station or fast food restaurants around you, there's a lot of options, but there's a lot of bad options. So you got to kind of critique where you're going to go or what you're going to get. And even if you're out and about, you can do Uber Eats, right? But you need to look on the menu, look at the kiddie menu per se in some of these places, or look for a healthier choice. And they have like grilled chicken, some white rice and stuff like that, where you can get it ordered and brought to you at that point. Because time is money. So is it going to cost you more money to go there and get the bowl, or while you're looking, the bowl's coming to you and you pay the extra money and you're going to eat right there on the spot and get going?
That seems like, for me, it's always people like, I don't have time to get the meals in, but they still obviously eat twice or three times a day, and it takes forever to get over there. It's like, it's almost old school, to go to the restaurant, get the meal, head out, get back to work on time. And where that meal is already there, it takes us 5 minutes to sit down, eat, done, back to it.
That's it, man. And I'm more like a machine process when it comes to food. I like my food, but it's energy, and it's like gas going in the tank to a car. That's how I think of food. Some people are like, oh, this is foodie. Let me try a little bit of this and this. And I can understand that. But if you're on the go and you're busy like we are, you're a machine. Eat it down, get it in, and at that point, let it, use it basically. And that's how I am. I mean, I'm trying to be as consistent as possible, eat the exact same thing every day, and kind of control what's going on there. And if I'm out and about, one day like Mona's birthday yesterday, if you guys want to have a cheat day, that's great. But you can't start with cheat days if you've never done the consistent program.
Right.
That's a reward process, right? You treat it as a reward, so it's not something that you're entitled to, but you actually earn.
Yeah, that's a great point, because food is at the end of the day, it's supposed to be nutrients for the body. It's not supposed to be every day is dessert 3 or 4 times a day. And dessert, I just mean good tasting food all day long.
Right.
And only eat what you like. It's supposed to be nutrients. And that's a basic, if you can think of it that way. I know that's tough for most society, but if you can think of it that way, then you can stay on that point, and then you can celebrate. Like you were saying, like Mona's birthday yesterday, and you fully understand that because we got to celebrate with you,
Of course.
Florida, which was so fun for me.
Right.
But
yeah.
But at the same time, if you're doing it and you got the mindset, like for me, I have a red carpet premiere of the movie on Tuesday.
You have a go.
And so, yes, I kind of have a big goal for myself.
Yeah.
And so it was easy for me to not participate in the food aspect, but 100% participate with the excitement, the singing, which I can't sing well, so don't worry about that. You guys miss nothing. But if anybody's out there and they're struggling with that, I would like to, with Titan Medical, if they're going to go down the road of HRT and they want to talk to someone about nutrition, I am willing to talk to them about nutrition along with it to help them achieve the true goal. Because at the end of the day, everything helps everything. And if you're going to be at Titan Medical and you're going to be walking down the road to fix that body, fix it fully.
And I think number one is nutrition, and then you should go into everything else and take care, peptides or whatever. Number one, and some people like yourself and John, you guys are like a lot alike. You like the same thing every day. I get bored. I'm not gonna lie. I like variety of foods, so that's why we have the Titan Meal Plan. On Titan Meal Plan, you could get variety of foods. It's based on micros, so you could, if you're allergic to fish, you don't have to have fish. You just put what you don't like in there. You still get the nutrients and the calories that your body needs. So that's why we created the meal plan.
That's what, real quick, Johnny, there's something I really respect about you is that this is your company. This is what you do. That's your livelihood, in a sense. But you so live in the world of healthy eating as priority for you.
Definitely.
And you coach that and teach that to everybody that you come in contact with. And I've noticed that over the month that's such an impressive thing to be. I always look at these guys that go, hey, I'm the owner of the company. Well, then why don't you look like the owner of this particular, the individuals, that, talk about, oh, if you do this program, you're going to be in great shape. Then why aren't you?
Exactly.
Look at
Super in the pudding.
He's not just talking; he's walking.
You're walking the walk.
Yeah.
You got to lead by example in anything that you do. If you lead by example, more people respect that, trust that, and follow that. That's the big thing, right? I mean, from you to me, and then you look at somebody like like the Liver King, who said like, "Hey, listen, I'm doing this all naturally," and people find out, "Hey, listen, you're doing HRT or you're doing these different things," and they don't respect that because they're like, "You weren't honest with them." So if you're honest with them, and like I've been on HRT and all these different things, but at that point, like if you lead by example and people, they truly see this, whether it's your employees, your friends, your family, whoever it may be, they will respect it no matter what. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, that's the way it is, for sure. That's how I've always been. I lead by example, and that way nobody can tell you, hey, listen, you can't do this. It's just like anybody in the company. Like we've done every single job here, except for see patients and prescribe medications, because I can't do that. But everything underneath the sun we've done, so nobody can say, listen, you can't do this job. I can step in any job, Sharice can too, and we can do the job. We'll show them, listen, this is how you do it, and this is the way you do it, and that will never, they'll never be like, oh, well, they can't do that. They need me for this, or whatever it may be. I think that's the biggest thing, and lead by example in anything you do.
I love that.
Sure. Well, we learned as we started working with you guys, we learned so much about the body. We thought we knew everything, but when it comes to recovery and even sleeping and so many different things, it's so much that we've learned from you guys. And I love the fact that we're doing the lives every week, because I want everybody out there to actually, hopefully, they listen and they pick up all the good pieces and apply to their lifestyle. Because we are representing longevity here. That's what we've been preaching. And Mike has been doing it since I met him. He's never, been there pushing people into anything. He's just like, listen, I want you to live a lifestyle that is healthy. So first with the inside, and then we'll do the outside. So it's always been, nutrition and then training and everything else. And it comes with the mindset, which
100%.
they all have Titan Medical.
Right
So,
now, real
got a
quick,
good crew.
I know that you're getting back into the swing of training and stuff, and you had a great nutrition. Well, you were really on point. And for everybody out there that's watching this, you were really on point when you couldn't train.
Mhm.
What was the mindset behind that time period of the surgery, if I can say, to getting approved to start back? And what I mean by that is I think people have a tendency to go, well, I can't train, so what's the point of dieting? Can you explain the philosophy that you had?
Sure. So this is not my first time going down with a surgery and have to recover and bounce back. So, first time around was definitely more depressing, I think, than anything. Because
Yeah.
if you live it religiously like you do, man, you're out. 1 week's one thing, right? That could be a vacation, having a break. That's great. Once you get past those couple of days, and it starts to feed on you, like, oh man, I'm gonna be losing some of my gains here. What can I do? So for me, obviously, if the nutrition factor is there, you're gonna keep majority of what you're doing, and you're gonna be lean. For people even that get hurt, the exact same thing. Well, I can't go train because I'm hurt, so I'm gonna eat McDonald's and drink a whole bunch of beer and just hang out on the couch until I get back, and then I'll get back in the swing of things. Well, then they're regressing more, and then they're going to have to come back from that and then go back to where they started and go forward. For me, my mindset was like, listen, I know what's going to happen here. At this point, I just got to wait out my time. I got to be able to eat healthy when I need to do, because I don't want to gain any bad weight or pounds, and I can't live to, gain more muscle per se or expend a whole bunch of calories like I would do when I was training. So at that point, that's the mindset of doing that. And I said, if I can do this, then I'm going to have at least a good base, and I'll be able to grow back whatever I lost very fast, and I won't have any fat to hopefully have to cut. Because Olympia's coming up, so it's not like I can go, hey, listen, you know what? I wouldn't do this anyway, but if I would do a serious bulking stage where I go up to like 5,000 calories a day and work my way up to that level and train like that for 5-6 months, gain a whole bunch, and then start cutting down. I really believe now, as I'm getting older, it's more of like the unicorn effect. I want to stay as lean as possible and grow tissue, right? But not, I know I'm not stupid, right? When somebody says I gained 20 pounds of muscle tissue in 1 year, I'm like, really? Like, that's pretty tough to do.
Right.
Really? So, I know the aspect of that, and I'm realistic with things. So I understand what the goal is. And if I can set realistic goals to hit that, I'm great. But people that, they get injured or have surgery and stuff like that, even with testosterone, they think that they're on testosterone replacement therapy for a reason. They were low with their blood test, and they started going testosterone replacement therapy. Now they got injured after 6 months. Now they say, you know what? I'm not going to take my testosterone because I'm not working out. So we've got that twisted. You're not taking testosterone to work out. You're taking testosterone to replace the testosterone that you don't have to make your levels optimal.
Right.
Overall health and feeling. Now, yes, when you go in the gym, yes, you might create more lean muscle tissue. You might burn a little bit more fat, sugar levels, and different things might increase and benefit. But the real point of it is that you're doing this to replace and to get your levels right on the inside, so your body's feeling right overall. So for anybody out there that does have an injury, goes through surgery, don't just slack on your nutrition, because things are just going to go the opposite effect of where you really want them to. And then you really get depressed. Like, man, I gained like 10, 15 pounds. I shouldn't have did this. You're kicking yourself in the butt. And then you're going to have to actually work extra harder and probably longer to get back to where you need to be.
Two things. If you see questions that you like, please feel free to let us know.
Yeah,
And
I
if
think
Jeffrey sees anything on there,
I got a good one here that I'm looking at.
go for it.
All right. It says, any tips for mind to muscle connection? I can't seem to figure it out.
Oh, wow.
So you want to go first, or you like me to go first?
I'd like you.
Okay. All right. So mind to muscle connection. This is a huge thing. This is where you can actually feel, per se, your muscle working, the blood flowing into the muscle and the pump coming up, right? You can actually feel a contraction. So a lot of people have problems with this, whether they're newbies or amateurs, just getting in it because they haven't developed a lot of muscle. You're going to have to start developing some muscle and really focusing on the exercise. It's not about the speed and pumping as fast. It's actually securing and doing the exercise properly. 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down is what I usually recommend for somebody. Mike might have something different, but that's what I've done. But Another form of this is a lot of people that have injuries. So people that get in accidents, motorcycle accidents, car accidents, let's say they break a femur, that's their leg. They can't utilize it. It's in a cast, right? It goes through atrophy. Now they have to come back from that injury and they have to rebuild that up where mind to muscle connection is not there. Now, one therapy that I can recommend for you guys out there from Titan Medical Center that I can guarantee that the mind to muscle connection will definitely increase is Hercules Potion. It's the glutamine. It's really the arginine and L-citrulline in it, the precursor nitric oxide that are going to flow with the blood in there. And instant gratification. So if anybody has not experienced mind to muscle connection, this is a good one for that. Or if you have atrophy from an injury or accident, this is a good one to use to reestablish that, and to reestablish the muscle and get past the atrophy portion.
Well, we received ours just the other day. So I'm excited about getting back to the, I guess you'd call it the Bat Cave.
Oh, yes.
Starting up. I think everything you just said is so true. And here's the big thing, I think, and it's always what I try to tell youngsters, is if there's no mind to muscle connection, start with posing and just pose each muscle separately. And I know that seems silly, and I've told this to power lifters as well, is that it is not the weight you push, it is the way you push, the way you move through. That is what develops it. And we've talked about this, and even my first training partner in Gold's Gym Venice, Tom Plaza, has talked about this nauseously to the point, is that we have been around guys that squat 700, 800 pounds with thin legs. It's not about the weight. It's about what you're doing with the weight. And so, again, it goes back to the point of what you've got to slow down and really find it. And you need to find it before the gym. If you could, I would prefer you to pose in front of the mirror and learn how to bounce your chest, flex your shoulders, pose your bicep. It's silly. Fully understand that. It's very silly. It feels silly, especially for like power lifters. I'm talking to them and stuff. Bodybuilders have no problem posing, but anybody learn to pose and you'll have connection in the gym. Because if you can't move lightweight with connection, you absolutely cannot move heavyweight with connection.
You know, another one, good one too, like you said with the posing, that's really the smart way to do it, to be honest with you. I didn't think about that. But it is a good way. And then even after you're doing like, let's say you're doing bench, right? And you're doing chest that day. Do your bench press and then automatically get up in the mirror and start flexing your chest. Start trying to push that muscle or that blood in there to try to flex that muscle and establish a connection, whatever body part it is. So that's really definitely a good solution what you're saying for posing.
Great content. Go for it. There's another question for you.
Sure. Is Titan Medical going to get into stem cells or the future of performance and longevity? So yes. So we are going to get into stem cell therapy. We're working on PRP right now. So I'll have all my providers trained on that by the time we get down here next time. But, you know, stem cells are a whole different ballgame. And some of the different stem cells we can do in the United States, and there's other things that you can do out of the country that we can't do in the United States. I think that stem cells definitely have a great purpose for performance, longevity, and then for healing, recovery. I mean, I think it's going to be huge. Hair growth. I mean, there's a lot of different applications for stem cells.
Real quick, I just want the people out there to understand. They're going from A to Z. And I think the one thing that's beautiful is you were talking about how you guys are going to have PRP. That's a great step in that way, because I know that PRP is also more realistic financially for a lot of people. Not everybody's just got all the money in the world. PRP is something relative, and you can go down there to Titan Medical and get it done there soon.
Absolutely.
Stem cell is expensive, and then, like you were saying, you have to travel possibly out of the country to do that. So just so you know, my thought pattern is always baby step. You know, if you can baby step, and, you know, instead of going, I'm just going from here right to stem cell.
I mean, because like you said, there is a big price difference. I mean, you're talking about stem cells, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, depending on what you're going to get done. You know, PRP, $500,000, $1,500, depending on what you're going to get done. I'm going to try to do the most economical cost for PRP in the country. So I'm trying to do market research right now. Who's got the cheapest rates? I hate to use that word, but I'm going to try to blow everybody out of the water for
reasonable. Listen, Dave, live in.
Yeah.
We live in California. If we can save money, I don't care. We're saving money.
Of course, So I'm going to try to do that so I can try to help a lot more people and then get a lot more PRP done. Because there's a lot of application for PRP too as well. From hair, rejuvenation process, inflammation, ligament. There's a lot of different things you can use for it. So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited about that. I'm excited just to keep adding more things onto the artillery that we have here to be able to offer patients more services and different therapies.
What is the best way to prevent hair loss as you get older?
You've been doing it because you're 5 years old, man. You got some good hair, dude.
Yes.
You got some good hair.
These are good questions. People want to stay younger, look younger, feel younger.
For sure. For me, there's different hair things that you can do. So somebody asked me the other day on my live, what can I do to prevent hair loss while on HRT? Because, whether you're on HRT or any kind of anabolic steroid or not, you got to play. Genetics comes into play to a certain extent. So what you've been given from your family, on your mom's side, your dad's side, if there's any hair loss or male pattern baldness, this can affect you without anything, right? This could just affect you as you just live in your life. Or it can affect you even faster if you go on HRT or any anabolic steroid or androgen that raises DHT levels too high. And that's really the key. So if you're doing a preventive, you say, listen, my dad went bald by 30, and I'm starting to see some thinning here at 26. And I've seen this happen. You need to start looking into why and how you can prevent this more hair loss. There's a couple different things you can do. Minoxidil, Lantrapost, topically finasteride. You can use those three. And then GHK-Cu. So we talked about the copper peptide too as well. There are some studies on that talking about regrowth of hair. Other thing we talk about is PRP. You can do PRP to the scalp. This is a great one. A lot of the problem with hair loss is that blood supply gets cut off to the follicles and they start dying. And once they start dying, then they're pretty much gone. So once somebody's bald, there's no going back. But if there's still a little bit of growth, there's still some hope there too as well.
Can you? One big thing I think is the DHT. It comes back to this all the time.
Sure.
For you guys that are at home that don't know, that this is kind of the lead hormone, I guess you would say, that causes to go bald in your family. But if you can lower that, then you can retain the hair. But there's consequences to that somewhat. Is that not?
Yeah. So here's the thing. DHT is dihydrotestosterone. That's what DHT stands for. And DHT gets a bad rep because of the hair loss function. But DHT is needed inside the body, especially for growth and androgen properties. But when we talk about it, so, usually right now, the only FDA-approved medication for hair loss for men is finasteride. So finasteride is something that's usually given orally, whether it's 2 milligrams to 5 milligrams daily. And what it was supposed to do is supposed to be a DHT blocker. And what it does is it lowers DHT in the body. Now, great on paper, great on blood work, awesome.
Right.
Somebody's on testosterone, great. But, and I've dealt with this personally, I've tried it. It's like a male castration drug. So,
isn't this something? I can go into this in depth. You keep going. I'm sorry about that.
No, not a problem at all. Go ahead. If you
but don't they actually give this or try to lower that to people that have? I think one of the main things is going to jail and stuff like that, where they try to get rid of that feeling, the horniness.
Yeah, it kills the beat. Makes you not even think about it. Not even in your mindset.
So you're saying, sure, you can keep your hair, but you're not going to want to have sex.
Right.
That's a hormone you don't want to play around with. So that's
bald and horny or long hair.
So
celibate or you're bald. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Different guys have different preferences, just like girls do, right? But when it comes to guys, there's two types of guys. One that really cares about the hair, one that says, you know what? If I'm feeling like a champ, if I'm screwing like a champ, I'm doing all this stuff, I don't care if I'm bald. I don't care, whatever. I'll shave my head. There's some guys that say, I don't care about sex. I want my damn hair.
Right.
So they might take the medication, but there are medications out there that are better that you can take or things that you can do, I think, because, you have to take that and you have to take that forever at that point. Once you start going off of those different things, the problems start happening. But there are some different things that you can do without using finasteride orally. You can't use it topically, and you really don't get those negative side effects. When I took it orally, I took it, and at that point, probably about 2 or 3 months in, me and Sharice have relations every night. Okay, so it was like 2 weeks or something like that. And like I didn't even think about it, and she kind of said something to me about it. I'm like, man, like this, I really have no drive like to do that. I don't care. And this is not like me. So at that point, I was like, I'm not taking this medication. I don't care, because that's not important to me. Quality of life in the bedroom is more important to me at that point. If I lose all my hair, it is what it is. But so that was something that I did. But the topical version, no effect like that. So you'll get it right into the follicles with minoxidil, which is like Rogaine, right? And then Lantrapost, which is the custom lattice, so it actually thickens hair too as well. So you can keep your hair, you can grow hair and thicken hair with that.
Now, what can they get out of that from Titan Medical for the guys out there?
Sure, it's our hair Titan hair revitalizing hair foam. That's what it is. The foam you put in your hair at night, stays in all night. You get up in the morning, wash your hair, put your style in, get home, wash your hair, put the stuff in. 2 other things that we do that are really good that guys and girls both utilize. We have our hair health capsules, which have like saw palmetto, neti, biotin.
Love that.
We just got ours.
Yeah, I'm going to start
That
that.
one I take every day. Sharice takes that one every day. The other one that we can add on to that is injectable biotin. So injectable biotin is far superior than oral biotin, and girls see a really, really great growth pattern in hair and nails. So skin becomes good too, but they really start seeing their nail growth and their hair growth. And what women doesn't like, we actually had women complaining to me and saying, you know what, I got to go get fills done more often now. And I'm like, would you rather do that, or would you rather not grow?
Right.
The choice is up to you. You can't have it either way.
So for anybody out there that is worried about your hair and stuff, get a hold of Titan Medical. It's great that there's options there, because I hear from the one side of the crew that bring down their DHT is the side effects, and they don't like that.
No, DHT going no good.
It's not just the sexual stuff. They were saying the side effects of just the mood and everything. It's just, it's not their lively themselves. So that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, and that's still, I mean, the real big thing is hair loss with DHT. If your DHT was high, I mean, honestly, you'd probably be getting better results. Gym-wise, game-wise, it is what it is. But you lower DHT levels, you're not going to be feeling like yourself for sure. It's definitely something I would not recommend. You can get them within reference range. That's okay, but get them too low on the lower end. I wouldn't do that. I mean, but I wouldn't want to start high either. Just make sure they're in check.
Johnny, we got another question there for you. I cannot read that. If you can, with your site.
It says, what do you do, or how do you handle tendonitis in your elbow and shoulders? I wear compression sleeves, rub icy hot, and warm up, but no AVAIL. So at that point, BPC 157, TB 500, I think are the best things for tendonitis, especially for elbows and shoulders. I deal with the shoulders issues every single day, so I know how that is. The bands and the compression sleeves are great and everything like that. Make sure you're getting blood flow to those areas so they can heal too, or get some sort of feeling in there, I guess. But that's what I would use. I would use BPC, and that's what I do. BPC 157, TB 500.
Is the nickname the Wolverine Recovery kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
So BPC 157 is usually what they call the Wolverine healer. Like you see that.
If you guys don't know, again, peptides are amino acids. When it's coming to these two, this is a game changer to extreme athletes. So that's not even talking about the I guess they call them the average Joe weekend warrior kind of guy. So this is great. And again, I keep thinking back about, I know my kid's 4 now, but what his options will be when he's 20, with retaining his hair, with injuries, with all parts of life. But for you guys out there right now, tell us about these two, because these are 2 of the main ones that you started. But what's your protocol with this? Is this twice a day?
So for me, I try to hit it twice a day at 500 micrograms. Usually the average patient is usually prescribed 250 micrograms. They can do it twice a day or once daily. Twice a day is usually the best thing. You can utilize this for 6 to 10 to 12 weeks. You don't have to take it every single day after that. Just want to heal the injury. If you want to be preventative, you can take it though as prevention. But this is something that you can take a couple times a year. Make sure you're preventative there, or if you have injuries, you can heal those injuries up. PPC 157 is more site specific. So not injecting directly into the ligament or muscle or tendon, but injecting subcutaneously around those areas or near as close to those areas, whether it's surgery, you had a cut too as well, open wounds, good for that. Where TB500 is more systemically driven, where it can work throughout the body, wherever injected. But usually what I like to do is I like to put it in the same syringe and I'll inject in the same spots. So they're both together and they're working hopefully in the same areas. And if the TB500 is injected closer to the area, it's just closer to get to the issue, to the area there. So it makes sense for me to do that more site specific too as well, where you don't have to. The other thing is, go ahead.
Sorry. So you got those two, which is an option. And again, I've been hearing about this forever and ever. And recommendation is like 6 weeks to 2 months to do this.
Yeah.
Twice a day. And then you add IGF also to that mix. Is that correct?
If you can do that, yeah, that's a superstar mix for sure. I mean, you're getting everything you possibly can do there, really throwing at it. I mean, so yeah, if you can put those three together, I mean, you're putting yourself in a good position for success, whatever is going on usually. Unless it's like a broken bone, even all that, but it can help with some different things, but it's not a miracle drug. It is a miracle drug, but it's not a miracle drug where it's not going to cure cancer or anything crazy like that. So,
but if it's helping ligaments, I mean, come on now. To me, that's
yeah, it's gold. It's definitely gold.
You're talking dirty to me now. I love that.
For sure. Definitely, 100%. The other thing I want to add in is, with technology and the advancement, when your kid, my kid, or anything like that, is gene therapy. So gene therapy and CRISPR therapy, literally, like they could give you an injection and change your genes. Like that's real life right now. So at that point, like they're doing all these studies. I mean, to cure blindness, to cure some different things like this, it's going to be a game changer. Even baldness. Think about that, taking out that gene and being able to not have to worry about going bald ever in your life. Game changer stuff is on the way for sure, guys. And it's going to be available to us very shortly.
Let's not fall behind, everybody that's out there. Let's not fall behind. So stop complaining right this second about owies and injuries. Call up Titan Medical. Hit up them. Get started and see what happens over the next 6 to 8 weeks on that protocol. From what Titan Medical can do for you right now is start to heal you, like we just said, going back to what Johnny said. Can you step... I want to jump a little bit back if we're okay. Can you step out of yourself and talk about not how and why you got in shape, but what is your best recommendation for that individual that's out there? And the only reason I thought of this is last night I get to do cameos. Cameos are this cool.
I love it. I'm on Cameo. They requested me.
Okay, so for the fans at home that don't know, Cameo is a cool app that anybody in the world can go, hey, I got a friend's birthday. I want the Titan to say happy birthday to him.
Yep.
I got a cool one last night. It was from a music band called the
Melons.
The Melons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a song that's very touching song. But at the end of the song, they're putting my cameo to it. And the cameo is about struggles and coming out of those struggles. And I just thought that was a very cool thing for me to do, an honor to do it. But if somebody is going through an injury, it is emotionally tough. And so if you can step out of yourself on what you did, but what is something that they could try to think of that will help them come out of that darkness, the injury, the sadness, the breakup, whatever that is, the financial hardships, if there is something you could say?
To bring yourself out of any hole that you're possibly in.
It's a tough one, I know.
Listen, it could be a lot worse. Always think about that. And if you've never been, I've been to the high point of life and I've been to the bottom point of life and back to the high point. So for me, every single day I wake up and I think about that, the lowest point I've ever been at. I never want to go there ever again. I'm going to do everything I possibly do to not ever get back to that moment in my life. And make sure that I'm just keep rising. And it's a lot easier said than done, right? Especially when you're through those struggles and trials and tribulations. But you got to put one foot forward and every single day progress, whatever it is. You got to face the music. Don't keep delaying things. If you got to face it, get it done, get it out of the way. You'll feel better about things, even though it might be negative. And at that point, you got to keep working every single day, man. You got to keep laser focused. Don't let anybody distract you. Sometimes there's people around you that might be bringing you down. You don't even know it. You think these are your best friends. You've known them for 20, 30 years. And you know what? That could have been a problem for that long. And you just didn't realize it because you had that loyalty. I've been there. So I know some of these different things. And I've been through a lot of these situations that people have been through. I just didn't magically arrive like this. This has been life experience, and some have been good and some have been bad. But you know what? I've learned a lesson from every single thing that I've done, whether it's bad or good. And at that point, I just apply those things. So that's what I would tell somebody. Like, things are going to get bad, or things may be bad. But at that point, listen, what are you going to do to drive yourself out of this? You're not just going to give up and quit. If you just do that, there's a lot of people who just say, you know what, I can't do this. I'm done. This is too hard. I'm done. Or, I've been through too many things in my life, and I'm just done. Well, what are you really going to do? Because things will get worse. I've seen people, like I said, seen people at the top and hit the bottom, and never think they'd ever hit the bottom in their whole life. And they never thought they would either. Just something happens, whether it's an injury, an addiction, something that comes out of the woodworks and just knocks them off their pedestal. And then when they get knocked off their pedestal, they have no idea, and they're just stunned, and they see the stars just swinging around their head. And they don't recover, and you have to recover. If you don't do it for yourself, if you have other things to drive, because it's harder for somebody that's single and by themselves, no kids, no family, nobody to love them, that's a little bit harder. But you know what? You have to be self-driven. But if you have that support, that's a lot easier to do. I would say that, it was easier as me as an entrepreneur to go through and do what I've done today, having Sharice as my partner. Anytime I've been down, she can pull me out of it. Anytime she's been down, I'll pull out of it. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, John. What are we going to do? And just take a break. Let's put a game plan in place, and let's move forward with this game plan. And we'll see how things go. We'll have to adapt if we have to, but this should work. So yeah, that's what I would give it advice for somebody. It's not going to be easy.
It's great advice. It's great advice. Do you have one for that? Because
I just say that people that go through the hardship, they become strong mentally. So I know from experience, the harder you have it, the stronger you become. And no matter what, never, ever something could hit them to put them down, because they have that mental approach to I'm focused, I need to get it done. And when you think of it, life is it's just like an ice cube. We're melting away as we get older, right? So what can we do? And this is what we bring Titan Medical in. We want to keep the room cold, freezing cold, so we can keep that ice cube. That's how we're going to get those peptides, because we don't want to, if you go into a warm area, that ice is going to melt right away. That's how I look at it.
That's right. Real quick.
I'll leave you with that. I don't like that.
Strong.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. I like the metaphor.
Yeah.
I like the metaphor. I think if anybody out there, again, blood work to make sure that whatever you're going through, your first of all, yourself is okay and you're mentally okay. Because I understand, especially for you guys, when those when the hormones are off, the emotions are off. So make sure to jump back in there and check in with Titan Medical. What else do we got there? Any final questions for us, Jeffrey?
It's dying out, so I just
No, that's dying out.
But I don't see that. Hey, Mike.
Ooh.
Last question.
Okay.
Did Mona drink the EAA aminos while pregnant? That's a good question.
I would check with the doctor. I've been pregnant. Mike.
Good idea. I like that answer.
Yeah.
The only thing that we did on our own was the nutrition and the training, which we didn't train, and he made my nutrition for me. And you could play with the food, because let's remember, us pregnant women, we're an incubator, so we gotta fit, the baby. We can't be selfish. But when it comes to supplementation and other stuff, you have
talk to your doctor.
You have to talk to the doctor. This is a must. Don't take any notes or any advice from anyone that's not a professional. Because you're pregnant and you're not talking about your life, you're talking about the baby's life. So,
yeah. My recommendation for everybody out there would be, don't do anything unless your physician knows about it. Don't take any supplementation. Usually, like Sharice, all she did was prenatals, which her doctor.
Yeah,
prescribed.
yeah, that's
She
all
did
it is.
prenatals, and that was it. Anything else, supplementation wise, unless
Nope.
it was food or root beer, because that was her big thing back then.
What was your big thing?
No, it's
Peanut
just
butter.
peanut butter, yeah. And Titan eats peanut butter with a spoon.
Oh, really?
It does. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah, that's good. That's definitely good.
Yeah,
That's,
but
yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely it.
John, it's always nice to have
Johnny,
you, man.
thank you so much
We
for
had
taking
some great
time.
questions today, so
Yeah,
thank you so
definitely good
much,
ones.
guys.
Definitely good ones, guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Sorry
it.
about the heavy ones there, but you've lived a life, so I know that those outside of the HRT and stuff, there's so much knowledge that you have that can help these people out there truly live the life they want to live.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it, guys. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much,
Thanks, Johnny. We'll
See
see you
next
soon.
week.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.